But you know, we
Go for it.
I was under the impression that you were still working on.
Hold on. Flat, you got the floor still.
oh, I was just saying, you and I, we got to get together as far as chapter games is concerned. Uh, and we are still calling it chapter games, or are we calling it brotherhood engagement?
So internally, to the bros,
It's
it's
chapter
chapter
games.
games.
Externally
Externally,
is
ex,
membership
the
engagement,
Brotherhood
brotherhood
Leadership
engagement,
Initiative. Brotherhood Leadership Initiative.
leadership initiative. Okay,
And
got
I
it.
can give y'all
Okay.
a sneak preview, but I'm not where I wanted to be yet. But I can give you a sneak preview on what that's looking like. Let me share my screen again. Sneak peek. And this is just a preview of where we're going. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
So you get a chance to see we got our what we're about. I know some of y'all like, don't we already have a site? That Google site's not going to be as robust as we need. So to your point, Flat, you can see right here, Brotherhood Leadership Initiative. I'm gonna I need to change that. Everywhere you see chapter games, I'm gonna change to make sure it says Brotherhood Leadership Initiative. I'm still working on this. In terms of those, we have a Facebook page, we have an IG page, an account, and I know like, well, we already have that for the chapter, and we do, and this is for Project Uplift. So I just wanted to make sure that that piece was clear. As again, all of these are going to be really important as we're doing outreach to the broader community for funding the work that we're trying to do. But let's keep going through these action items unless there are questions for me specifically about the things that I've mentioned so far.
No, looks good, Rob.
All right. Other action items. So if you haven't yet, before the night is over, you need to complete the volunteer skills matrix. All right. Yohance, any updates for us coming out of your conversations with 2007.
Yeah, reached out. I haven't for some reason it's hard to get these guys on the phone. I called Daenerys, left a message. I left a message with Brandon. But Brandon and I text. He was supposed to call me today or yesterday. He didn't get around to it, but I let him in a text. I was briefly letting him know, like, I'm reaching out. We got a bunch of initiatives, and we don't want y'all, what y'all spearheading, to get lost in the mix with all the fundraising what we're doing. It's like, okay, and waiting to hear back from him.
Okay.
Is this about the picnic?
Yes.
Did you try to reach out to Souls?
No, it's Souls on it.
Souls 09.
Yeah, so 09 is supposed to be spearheading and not 07.
That's not what was communicated 3 meetings ago. It was 07, and we've been repeatedly saying 07 in the correspondence in terms of following up.
Souls and what's the boy? He live in Memphis from Florida.
Hey, Javon, you ain't talking about Javon, are you?
Nah.
Well, figure it out and let us know, team. Well, I mean,
I'll reach out to Souls. If he points me in a different direction or another direction, that's fine. I'll reach out.
Okay.
Another action item. Another action item coming out of the meeting was Harvey and Yohance getting together to talk tent and any early registration incentives. Where does that stand?
I got an update. I reached out to Enebra and got the information on where they got their purple tent from. I'm not sure if I shared that with everybody, the tent, but they had a huge, nice ass tent. I forwarded that to Harv to see what he thought about it. And what else? What was the next in the tent? And what else? What was the second part?
Early registration incentives.
Oh no, I hadn't discussed that yet. Is that something that you want me to come up with, or is that something we come up with as a group?
I was under the impression that that's what y'all were working on coming out of that last meeting.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
Was just with me and Harv about the incentive for the early bird?
According to the notes, if the notes got it wrong, because I do have AI transcribing our meetings for us, please let me know if anything is ever wrong. If it's signed someone else's name and it should be your name, please let me know. But that also requires that we read it, read those emails and those messages. So from my perspective, I just want to make sure that that was the key takeaway from me. But if that's not the case, I can go back and look. But I was unimpressed because we do need to select that vendor for this tent soon, because that first campaign that we're going to launch is all about the tent, sheltering our legacy. So we want to have that idea already fleshed out, or at least a mock-up of what we're thinking about, so that we can show the brothers at the town hall meeting in 2 weeks. And if we don't have that, it's going to be really hard to launch that campaign.
Yeah, we're working on intent. Yes, we are. I'll get some incentives. I'm not sure why we reaching out to Harvey about the early bird incentives. Harvey, do you want to be in that conversation?
Yeah, I don't know what we talked about it, but I don't think they assigned anybody to actually doing it. I remember we talking about wristbands and some other stuff. I don't remember us actually saying we was gonna go look into it like that. The AI
Wristband's gonna be automatic most times. And this is my opinion on incentives. The incentive is the bottom level. You know, this is the minimum that you can get it for. And we're about getting this money in, not spending money going out. So, hey, if it's, I don't know, $100, let's get the $100 in. Now I can understand if it's like $250, let's go ahead and give them some, send that in. But this is a regular draw. So get it in. You don't get penalized by the late fee. That's the thing.
All right. Well, regardless of the early registration incentives, Yohance, as the chair of that committee, you're going to drive it. So you're going to drive the conversation and try to gather consensus of the brothers on what we're thinking with that. So we could put that piece on pause in terms of those incentives, but it is going to be also important that tent piece get finalized ASAP.
Yeah, let's link up either today or tomorrow and get that nailed out.
Okay. Yeah, we've been going back and forth about that. So that's been
are
in the
you
works.
all going to
Hold on. Whoa. Don't interrupt. Let them finish the sentence.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought he was finished. My bad.
I'm done. Go ahead. I'm finished. That was it.
But I didn't hear the sentence because you was interrupted. What was the sentence?
I'll say we've been communicating. It's in the works with the tent, me and Harv. So yeah, we'll definitely have that nailed down.
Period. In the sentence. All right.
Yeah.
Flat. You got the floor.
The question was, are you all gonna present your final findings with the price, vendor, and everything to the group? Or are you all gonna go ahead on? Well, yeah, it's got to come to us first before a decision is made to purchase it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And we're only looking at one vendor, right?
No, we're looking at we looking at different options.
Okay.
The any bros shot me the vendor that they were working with. So we'll be looking at more than one vendor in terms of options.
All right. That's all I have. Thanks. Hey, Rob,
Yeah.
one question. Are we going to discuss homecoming again before the meeting ends?
Right now we're just reporting on action items.
Okay. Well, okay. I got you. Go ahead.
All right. Anything else from you, Yohance, in terms of the action items you had?
No, that's it.
All right. Brother Smith. Action items.
Yes, sir. So about a week behind actually with getting the committee formed and outlining the program. I took some grace in that most of this stuff is built out, but I am about a week behind, and between now and next Wednesday, I'll just push some stuff out for the team to look at, and I hope to have this team built out by the weekend. Um, I know we did the volunteer, or we haven't sent the volunteer skill thing out, but I had some ideas of some people that I think would work on this team, and of course this group here would also have some say in that. So I'm about a week behind regarding that update as outlined in the memo.
Thank you.
You sent me something on the side about the Brotherhood directory. That is also. I went through those files. First of all, I was impressed with the number of profiles that were done. That's not a pat on my back, but on the other side of that coin, I'm like, well, that's a lot more work that I need to do, because it's just, I thought I could just simply cut and paste it over. The last part to that is I did profiles for a group that I belong to here in Denver, and we put it on our website. So I think that would be a great place for it to house, where people could click on it and they can scroll through who we are. So just, I didn't respond to your text, but that's my update. Any questions for me?
Any questions for Brother Smith?
No question.
Okay. Who else had action items? Let's see. Are there?
Bros, I don't mean to interrupt. I had a question for Brother Smith, because I want to get into the mentoring program, and to get him to kind of coach me along in it, especially with me coaching ball and in education and stuff. So my thing is with the mentoring program, and I saw that on the site here where it says mentoring 20 bros, 20 members of the fraternity, or are we looking at just young men in general in college, or that's just something you'll probably get with me later on, and we, how we trying to do that as far as the mentoring program? How would that go?
Yeah. Well, we're going to start off, at least the initial vision is to stay in-house, if you will. We've got a cohort to select from, so we'll have to go through and shift through who participated, and then build out that group from there.
Okay.
And I think the longer term strategy would be to go out to the public, if you will, the community, in terms of that mentoring, perhaps collaborating and partnershiping with some folks on the ground. But right now, we're going to do in-house, and just remind me of your name, team, and I'll see you, Barbara Bro. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Rude out.
Put your info in the chat for me. To reach out to, so I can at least put you in the mix. But happy to have you.
You gonna be in the mix.
or maybe I should say the groove.
All right.
You gonna so basically what he's saying, Boobie, is you picked the right one, because you sure gonna get some training. You sure gonna get some training. So nothing else from any other questions for Brother Smith? All right, seeing none, we're gonna move forward. Brother Smith, I had a great conversation the other night about you with Pee Wee. I don't know if he called you yet, but he's excited about mentoring as well. And I'm just trying to make sure, he's excited about mentoring as well. And bros, you're not limited to one committee. So you can, but we definitely want to maximize. We definitely want to make sure we maximize brother's talents. And what I told Pee Wee the other night, because he's real excited about mentoring. Also, I was like, look, I'm glad you're excited, and I want you to be excited. Connect with Brother Smith. You're gonna learn a lot. Go in with an open mind, and go in with an open mind. You're gonna learn a lot. But that doesn't mean because you come to a mentoring session, you're good to go. The work happens behind the scenes, the building it out and making sure that everything is ready to roll, whatever materials are necessary. He left. We talked for a good while, and he left that conversation, and I hadn't scared him off. So all good.
That's until he gets these 20 emails. Hey, thanks for your information, good brother.
Yeah.
And it's Barbee.
Yeah, yes, sir, bro.
Rue.
I'm gonna send my number too. I'll send my phone number.
You need to be calling that bro from the 80s, man, instead of him calling you. Let me just put it out there. You need to be calling. You need to be calling him, Boobie, to see what the deal is. So ask him for his number.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping we was gonna exchange so that way I pick his brain.
Okay, I just want to make sure you ain't waiting on him to call you. You know.
Yeah. That way when I do call him, he'll have my number in there. He'll know his brother Barbee. Brother Barbee got some questions.
All right. I just want to make sure I convey, because a lot of these younger bros been making me call them. And I'm like, man, I'm about to haze them up when I see them in person, though. All right, moving on. If there are no other action items, any other action items that we need to discuss before just jumping into, just progress and updates by committee? Oh, I did have one more action item that I did not complete yet. I'm not going to make any excuses, but life is happening over here. It's on fire, and on the other side of the country, it's all ice. So for those folks that are Game of Thrones fans, it's been a song of ice and fire. All right, cool. So let's hear a brief. Oh, my other one was just to put these things on a calendar, an actual calendar, so the bros are getting notifications versus just leaving it on that spreadsheet. I just haven't had an opportunity to get back to putting all those dates there. I might if there's some bros that want to help me with that, and you have the acumen and know how to use Google Calendars like that, I'd love some assistance. But if not, I'll get to it. It's just taking me a little bit longer than I want it. All right, seeing no volunteers, we'll keep this thing rolling.
Rob. Okay, I thought we were going to address that. Look, if you could show somebody how to do, I'll be willing to help you. I'm a little familiar with Google Docs, and I have gone into our Google Docs several times. So, if you just show me what you do, I can help you move forward with that.
Rue, you and I got to talk anyway, so that's perfect.
All
right. And you don't have to be the only one. If somebody else want to jump on there too. I thought Boobie was about to unmute himself, but I'm taking volunteers too.
You can add me, Rob. I want to learn about the Google Docs anyways. I know I use a little bit at work. It's because it's kind of like a shared drive, but I know it's a kind of difference. So I'd like to learn about it too. So if you could just add me that.
Rue.
That's going to be Brother Cincinnati. Spring 12. All hell.
I got you, team. So that's going to be great. I'm excited to have a team on that. All right. So let's hear. Hopefully everyone got a chance to close read their punch list and see what they need to be working on. So let's hear brief progress updates from each committee. And I'll ask that you keep your updates to 1 to 2 minutes, focusing on the key achievements, any roadblocks, or what support you might need. And I'll just say one other thing. Each group, each committee chair should anticipate a transition plan from me that has everything I think you should be working on, and giving you the plan to move forward beyond what's in that spreadsheet, to just a one-sheeter for each committee. But in the meantime, you still have that spreadsheet in place with each tab. So I'm gonna again ask 1 to 2 minutes, focus on key achievements, any roadblocks, or any support that you think you might need from the rest of the team. So let's start with fundraising and sponsorship. How you gonna turn this camera off when I say fundraising? That's your LB flat.
Hey, I figured I wasn't gonna be first. Bring up the list, Rob.
Bring up, okay. Going there now. Can y'all see my screen?
Yep.
I do have a list of short list of potential donors that I prepared. That'll be in that transition that I have for you all, Harv. I also have narrowed down the folks that I think we should be submitting LOIs to. Obviously, that January 10th deadline had come and gone, and I apologize for that, but that's where we are right now.
Oh yeah, let's move it up a week. So the campaign's gonna start. Well, what's the date? The 15th.
Today's the 15th.
I still need to recruit some additional committee members. I did have like 1 or 2 earlier, but I need to identify those individuals. Research a short list of potential funders. See what you got, and we'll try and build on any additional folks.
Okay.
What I would really like is to have some sponsors, but I don't know how to get those individuals. But if we get a few sponsors, I think that'll help us out as well. Same issue I have in the local chapter here is sponsorship.
Sponsor for what?
For different events, like for instance, like the Brothers have a party. They got a liquor sponsor who sponsor all the liquor for them and different stuff like that. So that could probably something we can get later on, especially for homecoming. If we get some sponsorship for homecoming, that'll be cool. But yeah, I'll work on
let's you and I get together, because you already got 4 campaigns that we're running this year, okay. and that's gonna be a heavy lift, because it's going to be both administrative tasks, relationship building, and essentially making ask. When we get to that point, we shouldn't be making any ask until our key messages are sharp and folks feel good about it. But you and I definitely need to sit down to make sure that we're on the same page in terms of how to move forward.
I agree with that, team.
Anything else coming out of fundraising?
Nah, I gotta get the team together.
Okay. All right. Moving on to next committee. Brother Smith, you already gave us your updates in terms of your action items. Is there anything else you have for mentorship that you want to jump into?
No, I've looked at the punch list here, and yeah, no other updates at this point.
Thank you. Yohance, anything else from you coming out of homecoming, and really homecoming and events?
Sorry, I had a couple of screens open. No, still putting together the committee. working the calendar to know when it's our time to start, letting bros know to shoot in money. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to get in contact and talks again with the vendor that did our ties. And this time I'm going to do it much earlier so we don't have the same situation, to see what he can do for us in terms of t-shirts. And I know he does a bunch of other things. So I'm going to ask him what other things he can do for us, and that may or may not be in the form of an early bird gift, depending on what it is he has. He may have some pins or some anything. I don't know. But yeah, that's my next step in terms of homecoming stuff.
Two questions. The first one is, this vendor is he a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And the second one is regarding I forgot.
Another 80s bro, matter of fact. So yeah, they all around us.
Okay. Well, I'll follow up with you as well on that. You have anybody who's you have committed to homecoming committee at this point?
No.
Okay. Harv, do you have anybody committed to fundraising at this point?
Not that I jotted down, team.
Okay. And I already heard Brother Smith say, he got folks looking to get in his. Okay. All right, Cincinnati, I see you got a hand up. You got the floor.
Yohance, did you see about them bricks that Chris had shared? Them jumps was hard. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna reach out to Chris because he had he was part of I think he was part of the people for the 85th that came up with all the little trinkets that we had. It was a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna reach out to him. He's on my list as well.
Bro, yeah, that's all I needed. And also, I'm not sure what committee I will fall under, but if bros need help, I'm willing to join any other committees too. Just let me know where y'all can use me. But
Cincinnati, you're gonna be on. Hold on, slow your roll, So I'd say one, make sure you complete that skill survey, Cincinnati. Two, as I already mentioned, bros can be on more than one. You have a primary and a secondary, right? So obviously that primary, you've already voiced your interest in grants and fundraising. So I understand why Brother Smith is excited. But as you think about a secondary, a committee that doesn't have anyone on it at this point besides me, is that communications and outreach committee, because our goal is to streamline all of our communication. So I'm hopeful that and because you've already mentioned interest in the boom, so that might be a secondary one for you.
I'm excited about that one too, because that's gonna get a lot of learning opportunities for me. Like I was gonna ask you about that little monkey email thing that Chimp. What was it? Something Chimp? I didn't even know you could do that. So that's dope. So yeah, just whatever it is, please add me and just let me know. My availability is getting a lot more open than it was. So I'm willing to take a little bit more. So y'all just let me know where y'all need me.
True. All right, Brother Flat, you got the floor.
I was diagnosed with HIV.
Okay. As far as committees, Yohance, I'm willing to help you. Harv, I'll be there for you on your fundraising thing, but I may not be able to participate on every fundraising event. However, just reach out. Yohance, as far as homecoming, I'll commit to be on homecoming committee. And I have a question as far as the vendor is concerned. Would you like to be in touch with another vendor and are you planning on having whatever gift there is already set when you finalize your presentation to the group?
Well, if you're talking about the town hall, no, I don't plan on having that set yet for the town hall. Yes, I am open to speaking to other vendors, of course, without a doubt.
Okay. So, my suggestion is, let's think of, okay, you mentioned t-shirt. That's a start. But the reason I'm asking this question is, I know Marvin he's a vendor and he's a bruh. he gives away a lot of stuff like wristbands and different stuff we could get in a package deal.
Okay.
We just have to come up with what it is we want to get.
Shoot me his contact info flat, and I can start a conversation with him.
Okay. All right.
And we can take it from
Cool.
there.
Yeah. You remember that day you came to Nana's, right? Well, you didn't see him, did you?
I didn't.
Okay. All right. So, and finally, I would like to express what Harv said. As far as the incentive for registration for homecoming, there shouldn't be an incentive. There should be an early bird fee and a late fee. You set your deadlines, and you have to be stern with it, brother, because it's been hard for us to have events because we don't have the money up front. But even if we have it, our numbers they fluctuate, and I think it's because we give too much leeway on our time limit as far as collecting our due. So I mean, I strongly suggest we don't try to have an incentive to I mean, as far as a prize or a discount or anything. I think we should just say, hey, here's registration deadline, early bird, here's what it costs afterwards, and roll with it. And here's the deadline, final deadline. That's all I have, brother.
That's a committee specific conversation. And I want to encourage brothers to, at this point, we're getting ready where every committee can and should be meeting. And so Yohance doesn't have anyone yet on deck. Harv doesn't have anyone yet on deck. Jeff
Flat just said he's on deck with homecoming.
Flat is a chair of another committee also. So while he volunteering, he need to make sure his committee is stocked first.
Hey, you gonna make sure it is, Rob?
You the chair.
It's gonna roll, baby. Don't worry about it. It's gonna roll.
So Yohance, right now you working with you don't have anybody on your committee just yet because he's a chair, and while he might be participating, fill out your team.
I follow. I got you.
And that ain't a knock on Flat, because I know he loved being a part of the homecoming committee. But I also know he got something else that's going to be really big that he's trying to carry. We carrying together. So I don't want to. All right.
It's rude.
Cool bean. So updates from chapter games. Flat and I have not had an opportunity to connect.
I understand, bro. We're pretty much where we are, but realistically, I would like to have majority of this finalized, because I think our biggest challenge is, did we set a price and how we were going to do that? Because I know the last conversation was we were asking brothers for a lot of different donations in different areas, and we were gonna either set this as a one-time $100 buy-in or a $25 per activity or $50 or whatever. So I think that's our biggest challenge on this. And as far as the categories, I have two in mind. You and I will get together and finalize those categories. We need to have a minimum of 6. And build that out. So I mean, that's where we are with that. That's all I have.
All right, just to go back to your question about the numbers again, the dues for Project Uplift, and we'll add all the current members of Project Uplift to the website as well. I see your hands. I'll be with y'all in a second. And those are going to be at $75. When you come down here to Brotherhood Leadership Initiative, which is chapter games, we're hoping for 40 lines. Really, it's really about the 40 lines participating at $200 each, or said differently, we get 160 participants at $50. Whatever is going to get us to that 8,000 for that, and that does not include the fundraising that comes as a part of the Brotherhood Leadership Initiative. That's just the registration. So I just want to put that piece out there, and team, I'm game to talk whenever. So I'm game
Okay.
to talk
I
whenever.
mean, me too, bro. You know, most evenings I'm free. And then weekends, every other weekend I'm tied up, but most Sundays I'm free. Sunday afternoon.
After church.
Yeah, after church.
All right. Okay. I see a couple hands up. Yohance, you got the floor. Flat, this is your time, so you don't have to raise your hand. You the chair. But Yohance, what you got?
Real quick.
I don't know how to lower my hand. Hold on. Let me see. Can I? Oh, okay. Lower hand. There we go. That was from their brother.
Real quick. It wasn't an action item. And I'm not sure if this was discussed before I got on here, but all the funds from homecoming that were in the account, as per a conversation last meeting, all the funds have been transferred to the Project Uplift account, except for $500 that we agreed to stay in that account. And since you just had your screen up, I wanted to make note that of all the funds transferred, $100 of that is Spring 80s entrance into chapter games. So at that point, it was $100 and they sent in the money. So make sure we know that Spring 80 has their $100 in that pot already.
Rue. Okay. Any other feedback from any of the other committees? I got the last one, which is communications and outreach. And I started with where things stand with communications. Again, we have our donor box set up. We have our our MailChimp set up, and we have our domain. Everybody got the domain, right? What's the domain?
Project Uplift.us.
Uplift.us.
So it should be some email accounts that you could associate with that as well.
Right. The only email address we got set up for now is info@projectuplift.us.
Okay.
So that's the only one. But if you were to go to, I haven't published it yet, but I can while I got y'all on, knowing that it's going to still need some updates. But let's see. And more pages, but this is just to get started. If you were to click, you can view the site right now, live, using that projectuplift.us.
.us.
Yes, us. And again,
I got a question, Rob.
I got to edit, and this is a template, so I still got a lot of edits to do on this one. But that's my update there. Cincinnati, I hear you. Brother Smith got the floor. Brother Smith up, Cincinnati on deck, and we'll see who go after that.
So yeah, in this area, I've been talking with a few Kappa Sigma brothers in the last 72 hours. If you don't know, brother Thomas McCovey, McCorvey, is an Omega chapter, 72 chapter bro. They call him T-Tom. Played basketball for Lane. And I'm working on his resolution. So in the course of that, just trying to get some information to just strengthen it beyond a generic resolution. I talked with a Lawrence Cooper out of Houston. And
okay.
I haven't checked to say that if he's received emails, but I explained to him what we were doing. And it just came to me that in what we're doing now, and it may be something yet to do, I think we just need to start off with a brief FAQs for this team. So as we continue to widen our influence, these are the 3 or 4 facts we want everyone to hear about. That may not be in the contact list yet, so on and so forth. So that's my only piece there is I don't know that it has to be 10 items, but it needs to be at least, 3 or 4 to say, hey, here's where we are. And I spoke to Brother Cooper for about 6 minutes. 4 of those minutes was talking about what we're doing as an alumni group as Project Uplift. Okay, he knew the brother. They were line brothers, but he lost contact with the brother, so on and so forth. And then I just pivot to say, hey, are you getting emails? This is who we are. We're putting together a resolution. That's one of the things that we're done. We're a professional group, and we're moving forward with a number of endeavors, one of which will culminate in raising $100,000 as we march to the 90th anniversary. And so I felt confident in that, but then I said I would have been real confident if I had those 3 or 4. And we got the key messaging. I read through that tab, but again, just 3 or 4 FAQs. That's all. Thanks.
Appreciate that, team. It's good feedback. And you're absolutely right. Brother Pearson, you have the floor.
Question. 2 questions I have. First question is, I know we've been working on homecoming, but Harv, you mentioned something last homecoming about Clave. I know some of this Project Uplift may be able to, I don't know if we can look into our finances and start setting up stuff for Clave. I know you were talking about maybe a hospitality suite or some type of house for the Kappa Sigma brothers, because Clave is going to be in Cincinnati, and y'all know I'm probably going to be becoming James St. Patrick, so I'm going to be selling everything y'all may need because y'all going to be in my home city. But I just wanted to shed light on that. We might want to start looking into some of that now, y'all, just because I know the grad chapter is already in Cincinnati. Our Beta Iota is already talking about stuff like that. They're going to be doing this stuff as far as setting up. So I kind of already got the inside scoop of where everything is going to kind of be at. So if y'all want to start talking about that, that's cool as well. Another question I have is this website for the 501, the Project Uplift website. Is there a way to put and this is going to fall into the scholarship and fundraising, a way to put pictures of a lot of the events or maybe community actions we can actually start putting up on that website to show some visibility of what we actually do as far as trying to go get some of that funding from different sponsors or whatnot. So just some other stuff I wanted to shed light as far as that email. Also, great work on that. And what else would be cool if we can make it like if you can get like your own like member thing, so you can like once you pay your dues, you get to like create your own login, and it gives you visual stuff to like different stuff like maybe everybody else ain't gonna be able to see. But just some ideas and questions I have.
Yeah, I mean, we got plenty of work to do on it, but right now that's where we are, and it's still early in that. We're not even ready for our conversation about a launch of the website yet, but we're gonna put together some additional campaign pages where brothers, if they want to give, can before we jump into the conversation about the website. We need some work around that. But those are great questions and comments. And you're not going to be James St. Patrick. You're going to be more like Braden Weston. So we're going to keep it pushing.
Who?
The white boy.
Oh,
Tariq, best friend.
The white boy. Hell no. Nah. Y'all should come visit my city and really see who I am. It's funny you say that.
I'll be up there way in a few. Hey, Rob.
Cincinnati, hold on. Cincinnati, you got another question? If not,
no,
just put
I'm
your
trying
hand
to figure out how to lower my hand. My bad.
All good. You got it, Harv.
Yeah. As you build the site out, if you need some eyes to look at it, definitely shoot me. Hit me up and I'll take a look at it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Next on the agenda, as we move forward, we got immediate priorities and chapter plot. I don't know how many of you all saw the text message, how many people got that message or email. I don't know if it was an email or a message. I got information coming in. Okay, so I seen 2 different plots. I saw one that was like stone columns that had Omega Psi-Phi, and then I saw one that was a brick wall that had Omega Psi-Phi and Kappa Sigma chapter that Smoke sent. I think my first question is, what's the actual look? What are they going for? And then the second one, we need to have a conversation about that. And I don't know the timeline or anything, but before we say yes and try to commit $10,000, I think that should be part of a conversation as well. And maybe we tack that onto one of those campaigns so that the brothers are all in favor and contributing to it. So it's not coming out of Project Uplift where we're using all of our resources on something that's a capital purchase for us, particularly at this point when we're an infant. So that's my feedback. I really wish we would have I got something beyond an email to tell us about what they're doing. But I definitely want to open up the conversation around that piece because we told Smoke we would.
I think it's the wall. I think it's the brick wall, Rob, only because the email that Brent forwarded was from Miss Samuels, and she was mentioning about one piece of the wall would actually have our founders data, something to that effect. So I think it more likely it'll be the brick wall picture that we saw is what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brother Smith, I see your hand up.
The timing is way off, particularly with the turnaround time to commit to this amount of money when we've got other priorities that we've already have put on our calendar. My question really is this a one-time offer? Is this something that if they get half of the D9 to commit 2025, are they going to open it up for 2026 or 2027? So, a similar request, if you will, has been presented to the Alumni Association to go in on a property that's near the school that can ultimately become an alumni center, an event center. And they're looking for $100,000 from the alumni that the school will match. And so my question on that side of the fence was, what's the return on investment? Will this event center be utilized, year round? Because the alumni really comes to town 2 or 3 times a year, Founders Day, convocation, and homecoming or graduation. And so what's the projection that we will see that return over 10 years? And so, and again, that's something that has a very short turnaround time, like 2025. And so I can appreciate the urgency, and they may know more about what people have under their mattress and in their 401k and stuff that they can bequeath to the school. But I just think for us at this juncture, I don't think it matches with our priorities. And it's a great edifice, whatever it may be, but I don't know that it will serve us well in 2025. That's it. Thanks.
Hey, I couldn't put my hand up, but I got a couple things on that. So it looks like they said they're gonna be done in March, which means that's a bill. From what we need some more information. Also, I was on one of the web pages, and I can share with you guys. The brothers at Florida State got the same identical little deal, same thing. I was looking. They was welcoming back everybody. Like that's what they tried to. So it's a custom, but it's a cookie cutter type situation. So we still don't know how it's going to be laid out. They have it laid out in Florida State, in one of the areas, and it's kind of like sitting out by itself from where he's sitting at. But I know the brothers were thinking about if we had something like that, we get bricks associated with it and things like that. But they haven't given us enough information to actually move on. It's like somebody said, "Give me $10,000," and you're like, "For what?" It's like, I need it. I need it tomorrow. So we still need some more information as well as design and whatnot. And I'll send you guys a link from what I saw on the book today. And the guy standing around the same exact thing. Now the first thing with the thing on top that I got for Smoke, he said that's how they did it at Hampton, and that's what So it's only one design. Thank you. Let me go ahead and shoot that to y'all.
Cincinnati, you got the floor.
Hey, I forgot to tell y'all, man. I know this white bruh who lives in China, and he has he can do like mass orders. First, I gotta link y'all with dog. It's funny. I'm mad I didn't tell you about this earlier, but he does like mass orders, like special made shit for the super low. His name is Cody Harden. You gotta look him up on Facebook, but he's been doing it for a while. I was getting ready to get some stuff ordered for my line and whatnot, but he was like, the order ain't big enough. But he does like orders like 100, and it's like at China pricing. So the only thing he said you really got to worry about is like kind of like the tariffs or something like that. But I'm gonna talk to dog and get more information about it. But yeah, he a real good bro, a white bro too. He went to HBCU. I think it's ASU. Is it Arkansas or something like that, or Alabama, something like that? But I'm gonna get y'all his information though. But I forgot all about that. Sorry about that, y'all.
What's his last name?
His name is Harden, Cody Harden, Hardin.
All right.
White boy Q just got nail you.
Well, he
Timu.
works with Chinese people. So I was sending him in like little stuff. So I was finna kill the game. I ain't gonna hold you. I had the hardest little thing I was gonna come to homecoming with. And so I had went to him to try to get my line, the whole thing. But he's saying I don't have a big, large enough order. But they can do all types of shit, like the fabrics, like they break it all the way down. Like he goes and sits down to them. They have a meeting with you. Like it's for real. And he sells fake Jordans, because I know that's what you be on, Rob.
That's a good one. That's a good one, though. I like that one. Hey, you came out of nowhere with that one.
If China, why he gotta have the fake ones? He getting the stuff from China. Why has it gotta be the fake ones?
No, it might be real. I ain't got that.
The real ones come from China,
right?
Yeah, it's made in Taiwan and China.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I dropped that link down there, bro. So y'all can take a look and see that fella standing in front of one of those the same thing they're talking about doing for us.
All right. Thank you. Any other commentary on the plot? So I'm sure a number of us will end up talking to Smoke, but I'll put a bow on this conversation and let them know some of our concerns and unreadinesses and our desire to have more information about not just the amount of money, but how, why, timeline, and all of the who, what, when, where, and why, all of the questions. So got it. Brother Pee-wee, thank you for joining the call. It's good to see you. I was telling Brother Smith earlier and the brothers about our call and your excitement to be in that committee with them.
Very much so. Sorry about my tardiness and everything. I just got off the road with the job.
All good. So now let's turn our if there are no other questions about the plot, let's turn our attention to our immediate priorities and any challenges that require input from the team. So we know per our calendar, if you need the calendar again, understanding that I need to go ahead and put this on an actual calendar, which is the next step for me. One of the key things that I'm needing from all of the committee chairs is going to be our key messages for that town hall meeting that we're going to have 2 weeks from tomorrow with the entire chapter. And I'm hopeful that we can, have a good showing like we did for our charter, our virtual charter day. So I'm gonna just drop that link in the chat again for brothers to follow along with that calendar. But there are tasks and priorities that need to happen. I'd say let me ask the chairs, what are your key priorities? Because I think I know what they are, but let me ask the chairs what those key priorities, what they're working on, so that when we come back next week, we can report on how things are going. Let's start with the Brotherhood Leadership Initiative. Flat.
I know you threw them all.
Yeah, make him go first. All right. He may have stepped away from the computer. Homecoming.
The biggest thing is putting together the committee and then collecting the dues.
The committee I agree with, but I think you also working on finalizing or at least getting some vendors and some numbers regarding that tent. And you're also working toward finalizing any key messages that we're going to have for homecoming, so that we're on the same page and ready to communicate that. I think those prices and everything, obviously important, but in 2 weeks we have a meeting, and in 2 weeks we want to make sure that, to Brother Smith's point about our FAQs, our key messages are tight, because each individual committee chair will be, in my mind, should be responsible for sharing what we're doing, sharing that vision, versus one voice saying everything. I don't want to be that voice. I'd love to be able to facilitate the conversation and talk about the stuff that I'm supposed to talk about, but I love it if the chairs handled that piece of it. So key messages, and we have some starter key messages on that spreadsheet that I just dropped that could definitely use some edits. So in addition to recruiting members for your committee, finalizing that tent and working on key messages are the things that I see as being top of mind for homecoming.
Okay, agreed. To me, I had the tent just a little separate because it's something that me and Hard was dealing with, so I didn't loop that in. And then the key messages is more than likely going to revolve around the revenue. Any key message we got is more likely going to start with that, because that's the important part. Everything we want to do, everything we need to do is based on getting the revenue in from the brothers.
Well, take a look at that tab that we got on here for key messages. We don't have any specifically for homecoming on here, but we do have some for our tent purchase campaign, which I imagine will be part of the key messages that we use with homecoming as well, or at least to help drive motivation around homecoming. So take a look at those and see if there are any others, because I don't think it's just going to be about the funds, because we got seed money and we got resources, so it shouldn't be about that, in my opinion, as much as it's about building the momentum and excitement for all of the great work that we got going on. So I'd encourage you to think about messaging around that as well. Because you said, we go back to our goals, which is the first tab on the spreadsheet, host a 4-day homecoming by Q4 2025, incorporating fundraising, mentorship, brotherhood leadership initiative, and the tent. So I imagine a number of your key messages are going to come from that goal, connected to that goal. And we can keep talking as well. All right. So anything else from homecoming? You got 4 things?
Yeah, I don't have anything else at this moment right now.
But you got 4.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Brother Smith, mentorship. First, I just want to say, with the directory, I know you want to have it done quickly, but I'd encourage, not necessarily going fast, just, we can go farther when we go, pace ourselves. That's just my feedback. But what are initial immediate priorities or any challenges that require input from the team that you got going on?
Well, again, as I said before, about a week behind. So I think that conversation would be best served for next week. But in that stated, I think between now and then, additionally, is coming up with some the talking points for the town hall at the end of the month. One of the, here's what we're going to do, and 2, solicit anybody that may want to participate either as a mentor or mentee with details to follow. So just use it as an opportunity to, seek brothers that may be interested in enhancing their career or perhaps even developing or working as a mentor, being a mentee. So back to Brother Barbee. It's about the young brothers too, but this also can be mid-career brothers, equally yoked brothers in terms of the mentorship part, where there will be a mentor-mentee component. The first part is building out the career enhancement. I'm looking at that stuff now, so
Okay.
I'll push it out. But there will be an opportunity for brothers to, those interested in mentoring and those that would like to have a mentor. But that's, I see that as secondary to let's get the mentorship program off and going, because we're already on the hook for a meeting. I think next month or March is. So March will be host mentorship kickoff session.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brother, let's hear fundraising sponsorship. What's up next? Immediate priorities
is get some additional folks, but based on this one, we're looking at 2 sponsors. Yeah. So we already got an idea about what our first campaign is going to be.
No, we don't have an idea. We have our first campaign. We know it's sheltering our legacy, right?
Okay.
I mean, unless you're changing it.
They changing
We paying for the tent. That's how we're raising for the tent. So that's the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to finalize that tent. So back to that point with you and Yohance.
Yeah, we'll get on that this week and close that out. Put a bow on it.
What I told Yohance the other night when we were talking about this is like when it's time to sign or something, we can do that right through Project Uplift, so that we have our paperwork in order come end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. And you got the 1099 stuff or the 990 stuff, right?
Yeah, I got a couple. I mean, to that point, specifically with the 990 in mind, and considering we haven't filed and we're in the 3rd year, I reached out to a tax preparer and an accountant before, because again, I know what my gifts are and I know whether or not I could figure it out and I could do it. But if you've been doing it for 25 years and it's going to take you 10 minutes to do, it'll take me 10 hours. I'm reaching out. So I'm just waiting to hear back from the folks that I reached out to see about getting some support in that situation.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm good.
Anything else?
Nope.
Flat, we're back to you. Are you there? Chapter Games, Brotherhood,
I
Leadership
am here.
Initiative. What are our immediate priorities and any challenges that you think will require input from the team?
Immediate is we need to finalize. Well, we just need to finalize we have the amount. We just need to get our category set up and what months we're gonna do them in. I think
Who is we?
Go ahead.
Who is we?
Oh, me, myself, and I.
Nah, I wasn't trying to be funny with that.
You and myself, we need to have a final conversation as far as all of our categories. We know we need to come over 6. And I think that's something we need to go ahead and nail down. And then once we do that, we have the price structure and then put everything together.
I asked that question about who is we because I think one of the things that's really important is to have buy-in from brothers. So part of that question is, do we want to finalize? We can have an idea, a skeleton, and a fully fleshed out skeleton, but not finalize it until we have a committee that we get a chance to talk to about it. And beyond just this core group right here, the committee, we want them to have some ownership of it as well, so they can help be the evangelists of chapter games and the Brotherhood Leadership Initiative. So I think, again, we can have broad, have our idea all fleshed out, but we don't want to finalize anything until we have an opportunity to get some buy-in from folks. And that finalization might be what we already thought it was going to be anyway. But let's just get that buy-in. So everyone has that as a priority, to be thinking about who are the folks they need on those committees to help us. So if you didn't say that, that is one of your charges, to make sure you're building out a committee. I'm a wait on my committee with the communication and outreach until the matrix goes out, because I want folks who specifically know communications who can help me with that. So
okay. Well, I was really talking about finalizing things for the committee, but I see you looking at the big picture, in which I need to shift my focus to that too, and reach out for committee members. But that's all I have.
Thank you. It was I was on the way to work the other day. I'll leave y'all with this here. I got an anecdote, side note. I was on the way to work today listening to a podcast I listen to all the time called Hidden Brain. It was formerly an NPR podcast, but they eventually did a spinoff and they doing their own thing. And this week's, they've been doing a series called You 2.0, How to Be a Better Version of Yourself. And this particular episode, there was a number of things that went into it, but the piece that really resonated with me was just on motivation. And one of the speakers, who's a professor at the University of Missouri, I'm assuming Mizzou, because they didn't say anything other than the University of Missouri, talked about, most people know about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. But what they haven't talked about is identified motivation. And that's something that might be a lot of work, but you know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. And I think, to Jeff's point, that why we're doing this is going to be the thing that we got to hold on to get us through these conversations, to make sure we're on the same page. So the development of those FAQs, the development of any key messages is going to be really important, that we're all saying the same things, or if it's not the same, it's the same message with just our own accents and a vernacular, if you will, but it's the same thing. We're constantly delivering that. With that, it's time to wrap this bad boy up. And I just want to, see if everybody, if there are any other, for the good of the order. Sorry, for the good of the order. So we're all ready for the good of the order, unless there are questions before we get there.
Quick question. When is
for it.
the email for the big meeting going out?
It's 6:33 p.m. I don't think it's a good idea to send it out tonight, but first thing in the morning with 2 weeks to go.
Oh, that's
and
fine.
We can send some reminders to bros, but I didn't get a chance to get it out earlier today, so before this meeting.
Oh, no problem.
But once I have a communications committee in place, I'm not gonna be worried about that. All right.
Usually a good day for stuff like that.
I didn't hear you.
Friday.
Okay. Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, for the good of the order, let's start with Bo. Is Cincinnati still on the call? Did he drop off? Oh, Cincinnati. There you go. There you go. Cincinnati, we're gonna start with you.
All right.
For the
good meeting. I just know I forgot to bring this up. I am still trying to reach out to that lady to get the funding. I mean, to get that grant training or whatever. And I did confirm with my girlfriend that she also helps us look for grants. So she lines us up and kind of assess what type of grants that we would actually be qualified for, given our, I guess, what our mission is and what we look to do as far as, like, I guess initiatives or whatnot to try to get that funding. And I sent the email out, but I got the wrong email, so I sent to the wrong email. I did add Yohance. So again, if any bros want to join to see about that grant, but I'm getting ready to send another. I got the correct email now, so I'm gonna be sending that out. But good meeting, bros. Good to see y'all.
Bro, thank you. Pee Wee, for the good of the order. Somebody teach that man how to use his. He
He
can't be on
hitting
my communications. He can't be on communication. He don't know how to use his computer.
he hitting that thing like he playing with bad cat.
Man.
Man, that's all it knows. But no, man, like I said, man, just keep on pushing, man. I mean, like I said, I agree with everything. I'm happy with everything. I'm excited. I think that I've had some brief talk with several bros. You know, just reaching out, getting their perspectives, and I think that this messaging piece, being able to understand it, us being able to explain it, I think that everybody's gonna fall in line, and I think that it's gonna be successful. So,
Groove. Thank you. Booby.
Bro, I'm ready. We ready. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. It's 2025. God gonna bless us. We're alive. We got to do it. Let's just make it happen. Let's just make it happen. We lifting as we climb. Let's just make it happen.
Lifting as we climb. Thank you. Bo, you got anything, or are you able to talk? Probably not. Yohance.
A great meeting, bros. Don't really have much. Great meeting. I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the fellowship. Like Booby said, let's get to work. So that's all I got.
Thank you. Brother Smith. Project Uplift Secretary.
Who you
For the
talking
good
to,
of the
me?
order. You Vice President, Brother Dance.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
it seemed like
hey.
every week. Hold up, 82. He called me out.
Okay.
You the vice
Oh,
president.
I didn't hear her. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you the second to last. And then you established that the other meeting?
He hazed me up to make sure we do it. Go ahead, Brother Smith. You got it.
Yeah, thanks, good brothers. Yeah, again, I look forward to this renewal each week, and I've been sidetracked doing a number of other things. That's not to build monuments, but I look forward to the task at hand, and I appreciate that word on let's take our time with the directory. It ain't got to be built tomorrow. So I needed to hear that because that's how I operate. Rude to the good bros.
I appreciate that, team. Brother Vice President, you have the floor now.
Thank you, brother. First and foremost, Happy New Year to all you brothers. I wish you all a prosperous year. I should have said that in the beginning. Good meeting. Rob, reach out to me when you get ready. Yohance, you do the same. And Harvey, likewise. I will try to make myself ready, available. And Rob, I will be working. I really need to get with you so I can finalize some things. That's all I have, brothers. Great meeting.
Rule. Brother President, last word. To the good of the order. You on mute, sir.
We're on cue, Cap 6, follow you to the last 11. Greatest fight of all time. Make sure that gets captured. Two things. One, brother Tom, 72, number 11. And what's the dog name? One of the Cap 6 brothers from Dallas hit me up and told me he had passed. And I asked him, when you get the information, let me know so we can send it out. I haven't got any additional information except for he's gonna the service is gonna be Saturday or something like that, but no full-blown stuff. But once we get that, we need to get that moving out.
I'm working on that, Harvey, and I hope to send Mercenary information tonight. He wanted some details because he said that perhaps Theta Alpha may do a resolution as well. But I've gathered enough facts, and I'm going to go with what I have and get it over to the chaplain of the Akron, Ohio chapter.
Oh, he's up that way.
Yeah, he was in Texas. Apparently, he's been seriously ill for a number of years. He moved back to Akron 3 or 4 years ago, and he succumbed to his illness here earlier this month.
Oh yeah, he was in Dallas for a long time.
Yeah.
What's the dog name?
That's
Thomas McCorvey. McCorvey.
Y'all got a number on him?
When you say a number, what do you mean? 72?
A contact. I'm sorry. A contact.
He's the mega chapter, dog.
Oh, my bad. I came into the meeting. No, bad.
Unless you know something we don't know, dog.
Median yet. If I was, I'd be rubbing on all y'all bald heads, crystal ball.
All right, so that's the first thing. Second thing, let's get together. Thursday my barbershop day, so I'm pretty much clear Friday through Sunday. So let me know when you get together, Yohance, and we'll go ahead and get that nailed down.
Okay.
And it's amazing when you write stuff down, you can actually not all to death, but that's all I got for right now, bros.
All right. Well, everybody got their punch list, marching orders. Expect if you're a committee chair, expect a transition plan from me, because I think the most important thing is that it's not live with one person, and that we're all clear on what's happening and where the dependencies and the swim lanes are. So get that, and we'll keep this thing running. Next week, please be prepared with your updates on the task assigned and your key messages. I think it's going to be important that we practice at some point to make sure that those are sharp and we're all saying the same thing. So at our meeting next week, we'll try to focus on our action items quickly, and then move on to talking about those key messages to making sure that we're all on the same page. And we'll go forward from there. All right. With that, thank you for your time, your input, your hard work, your collaboration. That really, truly does make the difference of a project Uplift. It uplifts us. So I appreciate being on this project with you all. So let's stay focused and keep the momentum going. With that, I am going to ask Brother President to pray us out.
Heavenly Father, we've come a long way. We've done a lot of work tonight. And let's pray for those brothers who need, everybody needs prayer, but let's pray for those guys who need a little bit extra. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Hey,
Amen.
dog, I found them bricks. They're about $100 a piece.
These are the bricks that Chris was talking about?
Yeah.
$100 a piece?
They ain't cheap. I know they wasn't cheap.
You can get them cheaper than that, Harv.
Where?
I don't know. Let me research. Let me see that picture again. Well,
And
just
I'm
send it to me.
gone.
Send it
Good
to
night,
me. I'm
bros.
gone too. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
Let me see.
I'm gonna stop this record.
Harv,
Oh, Yohance,
send
stop the recording.
Send that to me, Harv.
Yohance.
Do some research. I can't.